What's up, my people? How not they waiting? They happen waiting this up, guys. Immediately I saw this video of this guy. I'm sure most of you have seen the trending video, the BBC interview on social media. Immediately I stumbled on it. I was like, man, this guy is in for it. Few seconds after that, I knew this was going to trend. Now, this guy, for those of you that don't know, the few ones that don't know, is a YouTuber. He explained the reasons behind his assertion that Nigerian students travel to the United Kingdom not solely for education, but for better opportunities. Tiamiyu faced backlash on social media after the UK Home Secretary announced restriction on bringing dependents from January 2024. In an interview with the BBC, this guy stated that Nigerians prioritize the degree as a means to enter the country rather than solely for educational purposes. The interview clip gained attention following the UK's ban on foreign students bringing in dependents. Now, guys, look at this picture. This guy got into the UK through this means. Let us read what Bamilerin says here. They said that YouTuber entered UK in October is yet to even use 1 year.
So the student thing is not real. It's not like they need the degrees. They need the degree as an access route to come into the country. So a lot of these people get their priorities shifted real fast.
So it's really about getting into the UK.
Exactly.
And then
It's not about the education.
Job, hopefully.
It's not really about the education.
Nigerians have a word for what's going on here. Japa, escape, doing whatever it takes to leave Nigeria and start a new life somewhere more prosperous. And Japa may explain why the Shropshire town of Telford, with its University of Wolverhampton student campus, now has more than 300 Nigerian residents.
Now, guys, this is what will happen eventually, Many families will be negatively affected by this guy's act, causing relationships to break down and potentially leading to infidelity. I mean, men or ladies who get, admission into these schools in UK, the man will have to leave his wife or the husband behind. The incident will further damage the reputation of Nigerians. That's another one. And potentially affect visa route for Nigerians.
Emdee Tiamiyu is not the UK government. I am not even close at all. So at best, all I shared were my opinions on several things I was asked. All right, I'll get to that point number 2 later. Your opinions are yours. My opinions are mine. The day they call you for a feature, please share your opinion. It's nothing more than an opinion. The second very important thing, and I'm also learning some lessons from this, is that the shooting of this feature was done yesterday. It lasted over an hour. They asked me several questions. The conversation itself, waiting I talk, it passed 35 minutes. We have recordings in the, behind the scenes, but they didn't use up to 25 seconds of everything I shared. And 25 seconds is what you're judging me with. So if 25 seconds of a 35-minute interview was aired, is it enough grounds for you to judge the person? Maybe not, all right? But I totally get it, and I'm sorry if you feel uncomfortable by the 25 seconds that you heard from all of the things that we shared and some of my recommendations to the BBC that they didn't use. I cannot control what they pick and what they use, and this is how the media works. The
UK government simply used him. They distracted us with it as usual. This is the tactics of the white people. They always find a way to create a war among Africans to achieve their own goals. They only need a scapegoat to carry the blames, and this guy fell for it. He said the BBC interview lasted for 30-something minutes, but they chose to use a few seconds. I mean, that speaks volumes. BBC is a racist conservative organization that promotes propaganda. This guy fell into a trap during his interview. BBC, we all know that they twist people's words, especially black people. I mean, there are even blacks over there that want Nigerians to be cautious when dealing with BBC. Now, I agree with Daddy Freeze. My own problem is also not what he said, but where he said it.
Full time at all. The BBC man asked me yesterday, and he's like, if this is part-time for you. What if you do it full-time? And I'm like, I'm not ready for a full-time thing. Right? I totally get the message, and thank you very much for the reminder. Because there's a future, yeah. I know that there's still more opportunities to do great things, and I don't know. I would have to find a balance between being real, and being diplomatic. All right, because waiting happen before that 25 seconds. Because if you want to be real, you would offend people. Do you understand? If you want to be real, like people don't they cost you since you were mentioning why are they jackpot. This you were talking about the Romanian story. They don't they cost you since.
I'm going to block them. I'm going to shake for them. But I will tell that truth. You see, where I fault you is where you said it, not what you said. Not what you said, where you said it. If you had held a conversation with us like I'm holding this conversation now, there are things that I can tell them. I saw Nigerian passports from one of the most powerful passports in the world, done to Gota, in my very eyes. I saw the Nigerian currency. I was telling a story just before you joined. My mother and my father was in Nigeria, so my mother, we traveled to Romania and came back.
I don't see anything wrong with what he said, because we say these things among ourselves. It's just you going there confidently and allowing yourself to be used by these people, by these white people. If this UK government wants to pass the law, they can easily and simply go ahead and say those things, because they know. You think that they don't know? They just need somebody, because that's how they do. That is their ways of running things. Now, this is how it should be. One, Dr. Emeka granted an interview several months ago concerning this, they said legal migration shock. And this guy, handled it with care. He made sure that he dissect and make his point clear. This is how we should speak when these people approach us or when we grant interviews. If they want to do anything, they want to pass their law, let them do it on their own and not attach you. Don't allow yourself to be attached to whatever aim they already had in mind.
But when you look at these numbers, I mean, frankly, if every single person that comes from Nigeria as a student is then allowed to bring a dependent relative, it's a bit of a joke, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that. I think you have to understand where these people are coming from. Imagine leaving your country, your home country, your whole family. You're coming to a new country in, a search of better education, better jobs, a better lifestyle. You can't just leave everyone there. You also want to bring people in there so they can also develop in that country as well. And being somebody who was a product of that, because when I came many, many years ago, my dad came as a doctor, as a surgeon, to come work here in the NHS. At that point, myself and my siblings, we were dependents. We were young. We couldn't work. We were just living at the time. We didn't have citizenship. We had to wait and get our British passports. And then we were able to go through the system. And I was able to school here, go to medical school here. My sister was able to school here.
No, you've done very well. You've done incredibly well. And that's terrific. And that's an example.
We've been exactly in that
how
position.
This can work. What I'm saying
when
to
it
you,
works.
What I'm saying to you is, one of the, there you are working for the NHS. One of the reasons we've got a 6.7 million waiting list is that our population has exploded totally out of control. We don't actually have the health service, the schools, the roads to cope with a population rising like this.
It's true, but then when you think of what these students are studying and what they're contributing to in society, then it makes it seem a little bit more logical. Because if you think about the NHS, around 15% of the NHS are people who don't identify as British. And that's not to count people like myself who have British citizenship, a British passport, but I'm also dual nationality because I'm Nigerian. So then you think about this, in London, 27% of people working in the NHS aren't British, and Nigerians are the third most populated country from outside the EU that come and actually drive the NHS workforce. So we're saying the poor countries will strip out your talent, will take away your nurses and doctors. They're probably more needed there, aren't they? Well, I wouldn't call them poor countries. I call them developing economies. And secondly, these people who come here and study here also have their opportunities to go home and give their talents back. So my plan, obviously, is to do a lot back in my country. I was trained here in the UK. I was fortunate enough to be given the resources to study here and work in the NHS, which is great. And then I've seen how healthcare systems can work. And then I'm trying my best to go back and implement them there too.
You see absolutely no problem with this. Nigerian citizens accounted for 40% overall of all dependents who accompanied foreign students in the 12 months of the year. Does it strike you as a bit odd that one country should be 40% of all dependents that come accompanying students?
No, I think it's because of our culture and how we see it and develop and possibly give back to our country if we can.
Well, never let it be said. We don't allow both sides of the argument on this programme.
Correct.
And you've done a great job, and we love
Thank
people
you.
like you coming here, but I'm just suggesting
I understand.
there has to be an upper limit somewhere.
Yeah.
Listen.
And that's why I tell people. I remember when I was in the US, you know, I was about to come into Nigeria. Now, I can say whatever I want to say, you know, about Nigerians among Nigerians, you know, as long as it's within my people, right? But once I get outside of my circle, outside of my space, I mean, Nigeria is number one thing that I preach. And I told this lady, she was trying to tell me, oh, you're going back to Nigeria. Do you know this happened in Nigeria? Do you know? I said, madam, your job, that's what I said. These exactly my words. Your job, you know, is to run this test. That's it. Nigeria is a country that I was born, and not only the country that I was born in, I grew up in Nigeria. So there is nothing you want to say about Nigeria that I don't know already. Can you just run the test and let me go? And she shut the hell up. Leave me with my problem. Is it your problem? Leave us with our problem. You know, but yeah, I get it. You know, you can say you are being real. But also remember that there is no way whatever affects this country will in some way affect you eventually. Well, guys, we are going to watch some videos concerning that. You know, your views, the presenters or the host of your view also got something to say about this. And hold on, before we watch that, I remember the guy apologized, but trust me, people felt like it's just too late, you know, it's too late to apologize. But eventually, you know, I'm sure Nigerians will forgive him. I am super sure of that, but they will drag him as usual. As usual. So let us watch the apology video, and after that we're going to watch this your view presenters opinions on this. And when we come back, now I'm sounding too professional. And when we come back, we go read Daniel Rega comment on this. Let's go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. This is not a standard video or the regular kind of video that I'll do. I am doing this without any script or anybody telling me what to say and how to say it. I'm doing this from the reflections and the truthfulness of my heart. That if you have seen the interview/news feature, please, I am sorry for any inconvenience that this may have cost you. I am sorry for any inconvenience this may have cost you. If what you have seen, been circulated, what you watched, what we watched, has made you uncomfortable in any way at all, I want to say that I am deeply, 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 and sincerely sorry. And why do I say sorry? Because for whatever pain that you feel, I feel even more. Because if I meet you in person, if we're able to sit in the same space, touch you, probably, you know, engage, there is nothing in my heart for you
than love, progress, and positive support. The people who know me, who have met me once, wherever it is in the world, know that this is only what I've brought. There is no other motivation for me granting an interview than to highlight some of the challenges that we genuinely face as a Black community back at home and also in the UK, and actually to give an opportunity to you, me, who haven't been heard, to share our frustration with the people.
No, hold on, sweetheart. There's a place for wisdom. Wisdom is profitable to direct. Nobody asked him to speak the truth. If you're having conversations in like a regular place where there are no international government-based television recording you know what we do now. This is the reason we do it. You can have that conversation, but you go on a live, I don't know if it was live or recorded, broadcast station that you know the government, people are waiting for an opportunity to make these policies that would stop your people from coming, and you open your mouth like that. No, it's not allowed. So we know the truth. We're not going to lie about that. We know the reason. Listen, we know the reason we travel, right? We're not going to lie about that. But it's not for you to go and tell their governments that this is the reason we're doing this. Now they have brought out a policy. They are stopping this January 2022. Nigerians will be angry, and of course they cannot direct the anger at the UK government. They will direct it at the person who is like a scapegoat now.
Okay, Daniel Rega had said Emdee Tiamiyu is a mindless clown. Nigerians are already being stigmatized. Our country has a negative image, which we know. We know already. But instead of correcting the wrong perceptions, he deliberately threw Nigerians under the bus for views and cheap clout. Ignorance is a disease. Hope karma visits him soon. Okay. Here, somebody says, I'm quite livid right now. This is a typical Nigerian behavior, ready to sell out their own for selfish interest. But unfortunately, Onyibo go use you get information. We go help them and later dump you. Nigerians, let's try and be patriotic for once. Guys, the UK is not heaven and not the only country you can travel to succeed. Make your findings. There are other far better European countries with available jobs, lower taxes, lower living expenses, where you can travel to with your family, even with job routes safe and visa sponsorship by the employers. UK not be heaven. I've got another person here who says, make I help him since he won't decide waiting people won't do with their degree. He went on to still keep talking about how you don't need degrees here are too expensive and stuff like that. This guy talked too much.
So back to the cost of education. Nobody needs a 15K master's degree, not with the kind of economy that the world is going through now. So the fact remains that we are struggling to find this money to pay for this degree, except for the few people who get a scholarship or who are from the rich family, and those are in the minority, and I'm not in that minority. I come from the real bulk of Nigerians who cannot afford these things. And then when I finish and pay you 15K, you now tell me I can only work for 20 hours per week. Are you serious? You now tell me again that 15 years that I spent in banking does not count. I have to be picking shifts. I shared these things in the interview. Interview. Sheko Yatosi news picture, for God's sake. So the selfless reason why I do this is that I know that Nigeria is not in a place that is ready to fix itself. All right. Nigeria doesn't look like what we want it to look like. I don't want to go into the details, even though I shared some of the details about some of the motivation that is making us go and find 15,000. How much is masters in UI? No, tell me about it. How much is masters in University of Maiduguri? How much is masters in BUK at the Bayero University in Kano? Masters finish. You finish. So I'll go and find 15K to pay Wolverhampton University. For what now? What I want you to do? Right? Oyibo we get the school. They pay for the masters. No, talk to me. Talk to me about it. See that.
Daddy for Jesus. Talk to me.
Who can afford, who in the UK, even with the UK's economy,
Who in the UK can afford the 15K? So we
are made to pay this amount. That's why we are.
He also said, people will never share any of my videos ever. Don't they share them today? Negative energy is awesome. Thank you. He was enjoying the attention until it became something else. Another person here says, after all the bragging he did on his space yesterday, he still apologized. Now, wow, people did this life.
Then they feel bring dependent before their children, their wife, or their husband. They'll pack and come go school. One go they work, the other one go they go school. They take care of their children. Or if they don't get children, one go they work, one go they go school. Right now, or the one where they go school go still they work join. Right now, that opportunity it don't go inside gutter. Our people where they do okay, laughing okay people. Una well done no. I not say now, but it go good no na shut up a bit. Another thing one I don't see they do now. Now be where you get sponsorship visa. Site you get sponsorship visa. If you can't, you won't cast them for everybody. Really? You not get to come open for social media or tell us about your teeth, something. You think Pakistani people don't know these things? You think Indian people don't know these things? Or no other people? Not only Nigeria knows that these things they exist. Really? Life is okay. Really?
I say we forgive this guy. There's nothing we can do. It's out there. These people, these UK people, that is their intention. They already know they need a scapegoat. Let's not allow ourselves to be used by these people. We are fighting ourselves now, and they are happy because we are not blaming them. They are laughing at us right now. So me, I'm not even blaming the guy. He just fell a victim. Yeah. The next one right here is about Murphy Afolabi. So a lady came out during the burial ceremony, and she said that Murphy Afolabi is owing her 1.5 million naira.
1.4 million 1.4 million naira owó ṣe yín wà lọ́wọ́ Murphy kí ni ká wá ṣe báyìí. Àwọn akọni tí gbèsè lóye láti gba owó yín padà àti ẹ̀ tí wọ́n fi jẹ́ gbèsè mọ́. Ìyá yìí ní 1.4 million lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ẹni ẹlẹ́ni bóyá òun náà sáà lọ sáà bọ̀.
Yes, I know what you're thinking right now. This lady shouldn't have, came out. I mean, we're talking about the dead here, blah, blah, blah. But I think that's how they do in Islam. Because I read some comments. Let me read it. In Islam, when people die, they ask if he or she is owing anyone or anyone is owing him. If he is owing, they will pay up with the money he left behind before they share his properties. And if anyone is owing him, they will make sure the person pays up and add the money to his property before sharing it. Some people die with other people's money in their accounts. Their family will share the money, and the other will be left with regret. Imagine Murphy is not a Muslim and this woman stays forever with the regret of having her money with him. I think this is the best way to sort out any monetary issues concerning the dead. Another person here has got a different opinion. He said, so people collect money owed by the dead, no matter the religion. This is all shade of wrong. What the family need right now is help, not all this. The kids need the support of friends, family. This is the most shameful thing I have seen in my entire life. Guys, do you think that this Islamic doctrine is okay or not? Here somebody says, is this an Islamic doctrine? Just noticing this for the first time. It doesn't feel good. Allow the dead rest. Moving on to the next one. Here we have Yul Edochie. I think this lady has taken over Yul Edochie's page on Facebook, if you ask me, and even Instagram. I don't want to believe, but I think so. This lady is really posting herself on through Yul Edochie's page. Okay, they shared the video. I'll say they, yeah, both of them shared a video of Judy's pregnancy photo shoot. Moving on to the next one, here we have Seun Kuti. Seun Kuti is back in court. According to report, he's in court with his lead counsel Femi Falana, alongside his brother Femi Kuti and wife Yetunde. My people, look at Seun Kuti posted this, after the bail yesterday. He said, I want to say a profound thanks to everyone who showed me all this love, all my friends that showed up. Thanks most especially to my beautiful wife. Now, this next one. He says, I be orphan, but family day. He's right, too. He's right, too. Check this out. This next one. He said, thanks you. Last but not least, the legal team. Femi Falana, Olumide. They see San, Barrister. All of them said, everyone on the team, I owe you my freedom. My dear, if you are not Seun Kuti, don't try what he did, though. They see people waiting. They see him backing the legal team. 3 sons. Okay, let's move straight to the next one. Here we have this lady Sandra Yua. She said that Nasi Iheme goes around acting like saint, yet she was having an affair with her husband and still have the guts to show up during our wedding. Let us watch an interview with Trudy. Trudy know how to get the words out of these people's mouth with calmness. You go start to confess in front of Trudy. Go know. Let's watch.
Okay, the Nancy Hewe is posting her own. You go under it and you comment. So what's going on?
Okay, so with that Nancy Semen situation happened during when I was married to Steve and during my wedding with Steve, right. When I was getting married to him and all that stuff. So Steve talks a lot. He says a lot of things. So he was the one that opened up and he was, showing me his DM between him and Nancy.
Right. Before you were married to him?
Yes, before I was married to him.
Okay.
So, and I didn't understand it why she was at the wedding. You understand?
So you showed you DMs, essentially that she was propositioning him?
No, that they had sexual intercourse or whatever together. Yeah.
Then she still attended your wedding?
Yes. I didn't understand it.
Wow.
Yes. I didn't understand it. So I was like, what is this lady doing here? And there's a time that I think when my ex-husband during our honeymoon, he brought like a breakfast and he was giving me breakfast in bed. She made a slick comment under that, and I didn't find it funny, and I told him that, look at what she's saying, like, I don't understand this, I think he made her delete the comment. So since then, I can't. I don't know how to pretend. I'm sorry. I tell people the way it is. I'm not the kind of person that if you're my friend, or if I see someone doing something doesn't sit well with me, of course I have to say something. I'm not going to keep quiet.
I'm going to come to that. So just to understand what you mean. So after you got married, but there was no evidence that she was still sleeping with your husband, or was?
She was still sleeping with my husband during the time they were together. Yeah, they were still sleeping together.
But after you got married, they were
Yes,
still
after I got married. Yeah.
So your husband was also cheating on you.
Yes.
I mean, so when you were
He cheated on me with different people.
right, and she was one of them.
Yeah, she was one of them. Yeah.
Right, and so right, so that you put this comment. So you knew this, but then this was part of the issues that made you leave the marriage.
Yeah, this is one of the issues. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I understand that, but being that you are conscious, like you said, of how Nigerians see women as troublesome.
Yeah.
Why did you have? So you said I had to speak out. Why not send her a DM? Why not send her a text message? Why not call her? Why?
I can't call her. There's nothing to discuss with her. Because she knew I was married to this man. She came for my wedding.
Yes.
So her sense is supposed to tell her.
I know. I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm not even. And again, none of this is a judgment. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Because she goes around, acting like a saint. I don't like that. She goes around acting like a saint, like I think she called somebody out for doing the same exact thing she was doing.
Right.
So that didn't really sit well with me. So I had to say something, and she had to set a trap for her, and she fell for it.
What was the trap you set for her?
When I said, "Do you also sleep with someone's husband?" She fell for it.
Right.
Well, Nasi, hear me react. And this one, it shocked me. She says, even with your American passport, you couldn't keep a man. Face your frustration and stop looking for whom to blame. Steve has been a friend since 2012, even before he dreamt of knowing you. Fix your life because you are so... She didn't even debunk it. This is like you stylishly telling her to her face that, and so what? Which you won't do. I don't know. Let's move to the next one. Here we have Derek's estranged wife, who was interviewed recently, and she talked about her painful experience with her cheating ex-partner. You know this lady now. Some of you know her. The new trend that year. She revealed that during their engagement, she went through a difficult period. This is a new interview, and she said that she made a desperate attempt to save their relationship. She felt that she lost her identity as she became more familiar with the bodies of other women than her own. She tried imitating their hairstyles, behaviors, and even their intimate activities with Derek, that guy, the relationship expert, then at the time they were married. But her efforts were unsuccessful.
What did that do to you?
I became a shell of myself. I didn't know who I was. I actually have a couple posts on my page where I have a post that says, I knew her body better than I knew my own.
Stop. Let that sit there. You said you knew another woman's body better than you knew your own.
Yes, several women. I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. And I spent a lot of time, I went in such a deep hole where I was studying these women. I would go to their profiles and I would study their pages and what they wear. I knew when they had met up. So I watched their videos of them having sex. So I would try to imitate that and recreate that in our relationships so that he could choose me and want me. And that is a low point to be. And I'm tearing up a little bit because that I even got to a point where that was a thing, but that it was just that. And so I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. I completely lost myself. I became a shell of myself. I tried to imitate their hair, their actions, even sexual things that I had seen him doing with them. I tried to recreate that in our life when we were engaged, and none of it amounted to anything.
She said when we were engaged, meaning she knows about it. She knew it cheats or is a cheat before marrying him, and went ahead to marry him. I even heard that they started dating since high school. So you knew all this. Well, trust me, there's always signs. The signs are always, they are very, very easy to see. But the problem with us, even men do this. The problem with us is maybe this person will change if I do this. Maybe eventually. That is them. It is them. What can you do about it? Even if they change small, give them time, it will pop up. So why are you stressing yourself? Look, if a man cheats and you think it's because of sex, you are really deceiving yourself. If you like, open this side and make you hang am. The one way you won't hang for ceiling, make you hang for ceiling. The one way you won't hang for on top washing machine, make you hang for on top washing machine. If you like, make you hold the ceiling fan. Can't open your leg for microwave, making it enter. Waiting go happen. Go still happen. Truly, there are cases where a man that really loves a lady will give her time and will try constantly to talk about the issue, the problem he has. If I don't want to be with you, I wouldn't even be telling you a lot of things. I mean, that is men. We wouldn't be telling you to, oh, I like this, I like you to do this, I like you to do, because I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll still do whatever I want to do out there. So yeah, there are cases where when a man sits you down and talks to you, this is what he thinks could help you people in their marriage. If you can do it, yes, go ahead and do it, because a man will give you time. And if you're doing it, I don't think he has any reason, because that's what he wants you to do. I don't think he will be looking out. That is somebody that loves you. But somebody that doesn't, if you like do all these things, he go still do, but he go outside, he go down, because he send you message, he send you. Moving on to the next one. And here is a video of Buhari saying that he deliberately closed all borders to make Nigerians productive.
Nigerians insist that they have to impress their neighbors and other people, that they eat foreign rice. I said, no rice. You either you eat what you grow what you eat, or you die. I think I try to make my point. And later, Nigeria appreciated it because it provides more jobs. People go back to the land. We have the land, and we produce what we eat. I have only 6 more days to go. And I try to plan to be as far away from Abuja as possible. And thank goodness I came from an area which is farthest away from Abuja. I said, if anybody force move, I establish good relationship with my neighbors. The Nigerian people will defend me. Thank you very much.
But close border for you to travel out of the country for medical attention. I mean, yeah, you should also close that, so that will enable us and your government to develop these hospitals, so that politicians don't need to fly out to get treatment. Anyways, guys, this is a warning. I've got a doctor here. I follow this Dr. Shah. These are his fans though. This is about energy drinks. So if you're doing this, you need to stop. Somebody said here, 2020, energy drink almost take my life. My heart was beating faster than normal. Before I knew it, I'm already in the ground. My doctor told me it was a miracle the way I survived my doctor warned me about energy drink. Same thing happens again to my friend. So guys, stay away from that too. Energy drink, it kill some people. It's very risky. Another person here says, I can never take energy drinks in my entire life. Last year, 2022, I took Climax energy drink. I landed in the hospital and I spent 3 days in hospital. I beg, good life. Now, sensu. Okay, guys, moving on to the next one. Here is a man. This man created confusion for a lady and a partner in Lagos by clinging to their moving car's bonnet. The incident occurred after the couple had parked their car near an event venue, and the man confronted them, claiming they parked in a space. Despite the couple's warnings, the man deflated their car tire and climbed onto the car's bonnet. They were super shocked, so they decided to drive off with him still clinging to the bonnet, as he was willing to risk his life to make a statement. This is crazy. Although I wouldn't even do that. If he's on my bonnet, I wouldn't drive like that, because if anything happens to the man, I mean, you better have a very good explanation in court. So it's better not to even, I wouldn't even try it. I'll just find a way to get off my back before I start moving. anyways, moving on to the next one. Look at these ladies, hustlers. It's so cool to see some ladies who really put in their A game when it comes to making their own money and their job. I respect such ladies, especially living in a society where, some ladies believe that without a man they can't survive. However, it's also important that why you're doing this, because I know some ladies always believe this, that as long as I'm making my own money, to hell with anybody. Don't allow that to affect your relationship. Yes, you can be making your own money and still be in a happy relationship. If you're coming with a preconceived notion that if you're making your own money as a lady, a man will be jealous, then you will meet men that are jealous. Be positive. Be positive to meet somebody that will understand you. Anyways, guys, that is where I am going to hold it. Guys, don't forget, like this video. Don't just watch. Ensure you like. And subscribe if you're yet to do so. To see you next time. Peace.